Welcome to the landscape of television now that WWE owner Mr. McMahon controls all the networks. Now you can see his WWE superstars in all your favorite TV shows and commercials. And though the critics continue to protest, you can't argue with success. In fact, Mr. McMahon is now revving up for his most anticipated and some say dangerous debut to date. A no-holds-barred battle where the superstars trade in their muscle for muscle cars.
Welcome to Crush Hour. Thanks to our sponsor, Mr. McMahon. Tonight, you will witness WWE superstars battling for survival behind the wheel. Let's take you to the action.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mike Larkin, one half of the S&M Show podcast, and I'm back today with another video game history audio. This time, taking a look at WWE Crush Hour, which came out on March 17, 2003. The WWE Crush Hour is the video game released on the PS2 and the Nintendo GameCube. It was pretty much combining vehicular combat and wrestling. It was one of WWE's games that were of a different genre than the regular professional wrestling games usually produced, and they were supposed to be an Xbox version of this game, but unfortunately it was never meant to be, as the plan was eventually canceled. The plot of the game consists of one Vincent Kennedy McMahon ending up having control over all of the television networks, making WWE superstars feature on any TV show or commercial that he wants. His newest project, titled Crush Hour, a demolition derby style show featuring weapons. The game is often compared to Twisted Metal. The cars consisting of the then current WWE superstars as drivers were based roughly on the Superstars character. For example, Stone Cold Steve Austin drove a monster truck, while The Undertaker drove a three-wheel chopper. The in-game arenas were based on both WWE television shows and matches. The starters and the unlockables that you will see in this game are: The Big Show drove the Big Rig, Billy Gunn had the concept car, Booker T had the SUV pickup truck hybrid, Brock Lesnar had the armored truck, Bubba Ray Dudley had the converted pickup truck, Chris Benoit had the modified ATV, Chris Jericho had the muscle car, Chuck Palumbo had the concept car, Edge had the futuristic sports car, both Jeff and Matt Hardy had the wood-paneled station wagon, Kane had the modified muscle car, Kurt Angle had the patriotic SUV, Rikishi had the steamroller, RVD had the four-wheel ATV, The Rock had the luxury sports car, Stacy Keibler had the import tuner, Steve Austin had the monster truck, Test had the converted pickup truck, Triple H had the armored ATV, Trish Stratus had the German luxury car, The Undertaker had the three-wheel chopper, and the William Regal had British Roadster. Then we had the unlockables, which you can unlock in the season mode section of this game. Bradshaw had the armored fire truck. Christian had the futuristic sports car. Devon had the converted pickup truck. Hulk Hogan had the sports car. Kevin Nash had the big rig. Lita had the racing car. Ric Flair had the sports car. Stephanie McMahon had the German luxury car. And of course, one Vince McMahon had the super stretch limousine. Now, some of the arenas in this game, yes, were based on match types as well as shows that we saw on WWE, whether it be programming or whether it be certain match types that we had seen on many pay-per-views as well. A couple of them, for example, we had the Hardcore Arena, which is the wide-open Hardcore Challenge. You to pick up and hold the Hardcore belt for a certain amount of time to win the match. To get the Hardcore belt away from its current owner, you need to destroy them. Then we had the Hell in a Cell Arena, Then we had the Iron Man Arena, the Lumberjack Arena, the Raw and SmackDown Arenas, the Running the Gauntlet Arena, the Royal Rumble Arena, the Bottom Line Arena, which is based off the television show, the Battle Royal Arena, the King of the Ring Arena, which is very Coliseum-like, because King of the Ring, the Cage Match Arena, and the Survivor Series Arena. So pretty much all of them were pretty much very similar in how they were designed, and pretty much the object of them is to destroy your opponents. But in the Survivor Series arena, it's a 2-on-2 team battle, just like the traditional Survivor Series matchups can be. And then we got into the season mode, which saw first up is either Raw or SmackDown, depending on your brand. You're up against 2 superstars. Usually you're facing 3, and you have to get 5 kills to win. The only thing I could tell you is to show ruthless aggression. Then in week 2, we have the Hell in a Cell match. Kill 10 opponents to win. Also be careful not to fall into the lava pit, and that you lose points that way. Week 3, it's time for the Lumberjack match. Collect 5 stars to win. A good tip is to, when you are far away from a star, turbo over to claim it. Week 4, up next is a hardcore match. When the match starts, turbo to the belt and then drive away. Just turbo when someone shoots at you and you'll be fine. Week 5, after that, it's Raw or SmackDown. There are 10 kills to win, and now there are 3 opponents to face. Then we had the TV program segment, which I'll say one thing to you guys. Having JR on the commentary of this, it was good because it's the great Jim Ross, but unfortunately it's just him calling the twisting rockets and the lasers. It's just, oh my god, he had to sell for this like Tony Schiavone did in the WCW Backstage Assault games. After that, we had the TV program with Barbecuing with Kane. Kane is out in his backyard barbecuing with a chef's uniform on. Coach asks him what he is cooking. Kane lifts up the cover, and it's dynamite. It explodes, and the station goes off the air. Week 6, we're back to Crush Hour. Week 6 is basically the same as Week 1, except you have to collect 10 points to win, so you know what to do. Week 7 is a cage match is up next, and you might want to win because after you beat it in season, you unlock it in exhibition mode. First kill of your opponents in the cage, get the contract when it appears, and turbo to the finish zone. You need to get 3 points to win. Week 8 is another unlockables next, Running the Gauntlet. A good strategy is as soon as the match starts, go off the ramp in front of you and land in the building with the turbos, mines, 2 sets of health, double damage, and a VRF gun. Stay down there the whole match and you should win. Just get the stars down there and you should be fine. Collect 10 stars to win. Week 9 is the Battle Royal, and yep, you guessed it, you can unlock this too. As soon as the match starts, turn left and go through the tunnel. Keep going back and forth through the tunnel and let the other superstars kill each other off. If someone comes into the tunnel with you, kill them off with one of the foreign objects in the tunnel. When there's one on your screen, go out and hunt them down. Week 10 is either Raw or SmackDown again, and then we have the commercial, which is Edge's new hairspray. Edge is in what looks like a cheesy Japanese cartoon commercial with stupid cartoon star things. Edge's hair is messed up, so the star thing sprays him with the hairspray, then like magic, Edge's hair is straight again. Then week 11, we're back to Crush Hour. As the next match is the Bottom Line match, you can also unlock this. You're up against 2 opponents, and you need to get 10 kills to win. Do not, and I repeat, do not drive by the water. You lose points if you fall in. Week 12 is the Iron Man match, kill the most people in 3 minutes. Week 13 is the match you can unlock and almost sometimes unlock a new superstar, and that match is a Survivor Series match. Basically, just kill your 2 opponents. If you're low on health, drive into one of the tag beacons. You need to get 3 points to win. Week 14, get ready for a Royal Rumble match. As soon as the match starts, turbo up the ramp and collect the crown. Just keep doing laps around the arena. If someone shoots you, then turbo out of there. As soon as an elimination occurs, drive back to where you get the crown to get it again. Week 15, a Bottom Line matchup is up next. It's the same as Week 11, but now 3 opponents. Then we have the TV program, which is Surviving the Bermuda Triangle. It's a Week 3, and Trish and Stacy are trying to start a fire. The camera goes at Stacy's backside and then goes at Trish's puppies. The girls figure out what the cameraman's doing, so they start beating up the cameraman. Week 16, it's the King of the Ring. Eliminate 11 opponents to win. After elimination, get health if you need it. You unlock this arena when you beat it. Week 17 is the final battle. Basically, just defeat Mr. McMahon. Vince has 2 forms you need to kill. When you beat him, you unlock Mr. McMahon. And then at the end, it's the TV program. Breaking news! Mr. McMahon has been defeated, and the superstars are going back to what they do best, but not before RVD destroys the dancing and wheeling set. Kane throws his chef's hat into the barbecue. Big Show walks out on Mr. McMahon in Australia, and Edge beats up the Japanese cartoon things. But one thing remains the same, the rising popularity of WWE Crush Hour. So, being the optimistic kid I tried it, but yeah, was not a fan of it. I mean, it was cool to shoot at things, but it got old very quickly. The season mode was like I said, they tried, mixing vehicular combat with, wrestling. They tried, but yeah, was not a fan. Not one of my favorite WWE games, but as an optimistic 10-year-old, I tried it, and I could say I was not much of a fan of it. But if you were, God bless you. So, yeah, that's my quick review of WWE Crush Hour. It was fun very quickly to restate and to reiterate it, but yeah. Not one of my favorite games, but it was in my collection. I'm happy to give you guys a brief synopsis of what I thought about the game when I was a kid and just to review it. Also talk about some of the gameplay and walk you guys through some of the arenas and what you get in the game as well. So I'm going to close it out here. Thank you all very much for listening. More S&M Show podcasts coming as well. There will also be some Stevie Nicks experiences on the horizon coming, Shooting the Breezes, Golden Age of Everythings, interviews, and so much more. You guys can check us out on Facebook, S&M Show Podcast, and at S&M Network Shows. The Twitter is at SM Show 1 or MCL92. The Instagram's Larkin_92. SoundCloud is MC Larkin92 again. And Stevie Nicks on the Twitter is at Steve Nicks SM. And the Instagram is Isles Mets SM. And also on Twitter now is the Golden Age of Everything podcast at Golden Age Pod. So stay tuned for all of that, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of great stuff to come. Coming also on the Pop Culture History audios, you guys will get Janet Jackson's album Janet. I believe it's All For You, I'm sorry, which features the title song All For You. Doesn't really matter. Someone Call My Lover, and You're So Vain, which is You're So Vain, you probably think the song is about you, which is pretty much a cover of Carly Simon, which is on the track. It samples it, but it's Janet's own mix on it. You also get Maya's Fear of Flying album, which features such songs as Case of the X. And you're also going to get a lot more in May, such as BB Mac, Ricky Martin, 18s, and a whole hell of a lot more. So stay tuned on the Pop Culture History audio side of things. And, so that's pretty much going to close me out. I want to thank each and every one of you for listening to what we have going. Stay tuned. There's a lot more. If you've not listened to the last stuff that we've had on there, video game history audio, listen to NBA Ballers and NBA Ballers Phenom. Listen to Def Jam Vendetta. Listen to my pay-per-view history audio. I just had Dave Burnham on. Listen to the latest S&M Show podcast, episode 35, my happy birthday edition. Listen to the latest Golden Age of Everything, episode 18. Listen to my interview with Davian. Just a lot of great stuff, people. So, again, thank you all very much for listening. A very little shorter one than what I've had in the past. And also what I will say is for video game history audios coming up, I'm going to add some SmackDown games such as Here Comes the Pain. I'm going to add maybe some SmackDown vs. Raws in there, Legends of Wrestling, WWE All-Stars even, I had that, and just a whole hell of a lot more. We'll discuss that. I'll get some guests on here for you guys as well, and stay tuned. There's a lot coming from the S&M Show Podcast Network, and I think you will enjoy, and thank you guys as always for supporting. Everyone have a great night, and I'll talk with you soon. Thank you very much, guys. Peace.